hottest band in the world! Explosions! RaiderFanRadio needs high pyrotechnics.
And it has it now. Kiss this!
Wait, remember Ace really had the smoking guitar? Oh, whoa. Oh, shit.
Oh,
like Ace Frehley, I need my pyrotechnics.
Ah, there he is.
Las Vegas professional football team fan radio here with you on the return, baby. Good to have you all with us.
We were gone, but now we're back.
Yes.
Wait a minute. I'll be back. We are back.
We are back. We are with us the illustrious Stonerdude, a man who was missing for a while. He was busy, but now he has returned with such might and such fervor.
Way too busy for RaiderFanRadio.
Oh,
I have a life too, you know.
He's
well,
special.
you know, I've been catching up on my women's college volleyball, so I got a life, you know. Anyway, it's good to be with all of y'all here on the show. They'll call it for you, but as far as I'm concerned,
RaiderFanRadio.Vegas.
representing the Las Vegas Max Crosby's. Okay? That's who we're representing.
You're breaking it down.
That's
Why you would cheer
them.
for the team.
Yes,
Right.
yes. Stone is back. I'm R-Hater Rob.
Wait. Well, we'll get to that. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt so soon. But I've got a lot to talk about tonight.
Okay.
Go ahead, R.
The beautiful
Hater
black hole
Rob.
Stef, of course,
Hey.
the auntie in the house. And yes, like, share, and subscribe. We're back. Show 43 for ya. And 21 years in the game. The originals. Before there was podcasting, there was
RaiderFanRadio.
Exactly. Hope you're all doing well out there in the nation. All right, all around the world, same song. And here in Las Vegas, all around the world, it's the same fucking song.
Yes.
Is it?
No, it's a happy song. I woke up yesterday with joy in my heart because
Joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart.
of
I
some
got
good
that
news.
joy down
Before
in
that,
my
though,
heart.
let's honor the
Down
song.
in my heart. Down in
Honor
my
the
heart.
song that we're opening up with, because let's not forget how we all got to these joyful songs. Last Monday night, by the time we come to you, it'll be a weekend, all right, after the fact, that they went to Detroit and got rocked in the city by the Lions Den. And the Lions, one of the new emerging, or shall we say, rebooted seminal and signature fan bases in professional football that have been
Right.
slept on for many years because their teams have been shit.
Well, they are the
Just
oldest
as
team
bad
in
as the team
football.
out here. But
One of them anyway.
when that team is winning, the Lions, that Lions Den, that fan base, that city is electric. You
It
know,
was.
now, they would know what to do if they had a strip behind them. Okay, they would understand. The team here is not playing $1.8 million football.
No, it's not.
And that was shown that Monday night. They got
1.8
their asses
billion.
handed to them. And you know what I say? Lions!
Well, you know what I say?
Lions!
I say Raider Hater Rob. You're
Dan
living in the
Crusher King.
past. You're living in the past. That was then, and this is now.
Woo!
Because, as of course the whole world knows, and like you were talking about your elation the other morning, I thought it was April Fool's Day. I was looking at 10 o'clock at night, Halloween night.
Right.
I saw on my phone a glimpse.
Happy Halloween.
Josh McDaniels fired.
Woo!
And for that very moment that I saw that on my phone as I was kind of going about my evening, I'm like, this is not fucking, someone's fucking with me. Someone out there.
Someone's fucking with
not
you.
it.
What are you fans out there with your memes and your whole, with your fantasy world you live in and your propaganda? I thought maybe you were lying to me just to get under my goat and to get me riled up. But sure enough, and I'm going to right now, thank you. I already cursed you, Mark Davis, for
Right.
hiring Josh McDaniels. So now I'm going to officially thank you. Thank you, because
firing, is
of
it?
fan power that we always talk about on this radio show. The fans have spoken. The Raider fans, the Raider Nation, has spoken. They were going out there and berating him in public, out into the world.
Los Angeles.
And
Los
Mark Davis
Angeles.
would come back and say something
weeks
back
ago.
to them,
Yeah.
which is very unprecedented.
Yeah,
But again, it's
it's
Mark
already
Davis we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Right.
But the fans have spoken. But even more to the point is that we were right.
We were right.
called it. We
Called
said this
it.
would not work. We didn't want it to
Called
work.
it. Calling it.
Called it. Wait, where do we have that?
Called it.
Calling
Where's
it.
I forgot. I can't find my paper.
Raider
Wait, Fan Radio calls
calling it.
Raider Fan Radio calls it. There you go. Let me
thanks.
pat you on the back. Let me pat myself on the back.
We know this shit.
Yes.
Cause we live this shit. Cause
Right.
we've been this shit. Cause we built this shit.
Right.
RaiderFan Radio exclusive.
Josh McDaniels tried to come in with the Patriot Way into Las Vegas, and basically it all completely crumbled and imploded upon him because he's not a head coach.
Right.
Jimmy Garropolo is not a starting quarterback anymore.
I
in this
called that too.
league.
Told you by week 6 he'd be out of there.
That's right.
And he went out week 6, and 2 weeks later, the Italian Carr is in the garage.
So,
Broke it
and
down.
we're gonna get heavy into this.
Heavy?
Heavy, because I'm gonna get heavy into
Heavy
it.
metal?
Because you know, because it's fan power, and the fans have spoken, and now we have a new coach talking about the Raider Way. I had to break out my old school Raiders logo.
Yes.
Because we're going way back to the beginning. We're
Way back.
We're going
Had
from
to
the ground
feel
up.
the shield.
Josh McDaniels tore it all apart. We're going from the ground back up. But before that, this is show number 43.
Yes,
And
yes.
in respect to all the other shows prior to tonight, we talk about the famous, notable Raiders who wore the number 43. Now, this should be pretty easy, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen, kids, boys and girls at home. But I still always defer to our in-house Raider historian, second only to the notable Raider Mort.
What's up, Mort?
I ask you, Raider Rob, the most
Love you.
notable number 43 in the history of the Raiders. And it's easy. Come on.
George Hitman Atkinson. Part of the vaunted Soul
Yes.
Patrol defensive backfield of the 1970s Bad Boy Raiders. One of the hardest hitting, most destructive defensive backs in all of professional football history. He was part Night Train Lane, part Larry Wilson from the St. Louis Cardinals in the 50s and 60s. Okay, and every bit of a Raider.
Huge receivers as burglars breaking into your house. So if you catch a burglar breaking into your house, he paid the consequences. From the opening bell to the closing bell, you're going to get hit. You're going to get hit hard, and you're going to get hit consistently. We wanted to leave them with an impression that, hey, it's not a contact sport, this is a collision sport, and that's what we did. We made collisions with wide receivers.
Oakland Raider. I can say Oakland Raider.
Right.
Okay, that I have no problem saying because I honor that. I live that. That's
Yes.
where we're from.
Yes.
So, yes, it's George Atkinson. There really is
It
nobody
is,
else.
it
Greg
is.
Pruitt wore it for a minute when he got traded to the Raiders from the Cleveland Browns. The great Greg Pruitt, the running back. Anybody else that played number 43? I don't know who the fuck he is. I don't even remember.
Frankly, yes, you're right. It is a very forgetful number. No, I take that back. Not forgetful because George Atkinson holds the highest level
Right.
at number
Right,
43.
right.
There was Ira Matthews who did
Yes,
number
Ira
4,
Matthews.
43.
I remember
And he
Ira
played
Matthews.
at a Super Bowl and would have helped the Raiders win a Super Bowl.
And
So-
at one time, he held the record for the longest kickoff return in Monday Night Football history.
Right.
Kids, look it up. It was
So it's notable.
103 yards.
notable,
Right.
but
With the
nobody
Chargers,
compares.
1980.
No.
Nothing
to George
compares.
Atkinson.
A beautiful black hole stuff. Sitting bitch.
Well, Ira Matthews, I must say, Ira Matthews.
bitch
Talk
today.
about George Atkinson.
Shout out to Ira Matthews. Ira Matthews had one of the coolest Stingrays.
Oh,
Corvette
really?
Stingrays, yeah. When we went
He had a
up,
Corvette?
Yeah, when we
what
were
year?
kids-
Around what year-ish?
it was in 1980.
Oh,
because
okay.
we went up to a camp that year. They used to take the kids, inner city kids from Oakland, the rec centers, and they'd come pick you up.
You were an inner city kid?
I still am. And don't let these glitz and tits fool you, baby. Okay? And they would take us up to camp, Santa Rosa. That was really my first time really seeing the Raiders up close and all that in my life. And Ira Matthews was the star kick returner for that team. And he pulled it in the parking lot. Silver, beautiful Stingray, 1980, man. With the plush cream seats and shit.
Yeah. Look, the kind we talked about, the classic car that we wanted. But yes, George Atkinson is the classic star. He is part of the Soul Patrol. And when you look back at that era of football, that's where we became fans. That's why there's Raider Fan Radio, is because of those athletes, those Raider players that made the Raiders what they are. Just dominating, hard hitting. But yes, I mean, how many are the linebackers out there or DBs that are forcing fumbles, that are getting intercepted? Only you can look to Max Crosby,
that are clotheslining Lynn Swan across the neck, and knocking him off the field.
Right, other great players that he defended against, and just he still holds many of the records when it comes to the Raiders in terms of production. And this is the type of athlete that new Raiders need to be looking up to. How do we achieve anything close to that? It's going to be hard because the type of
it's going to be hard because you ain't got no punk ass. You ain't got no coaches out there today that are punks enough, and the Raiders on a team enough that batter and bruise their opponent enough that George Atkinson would have the distinction of being the only National Football League player ever charged criminally in federal court.
We didn't break any rules, but we sure we bend some rules.
Him and his friend Jack Tatum.
Yeah, that's right.
Due to Chuck Noll's dead punk ass. I'm sorry. Fuck the Steelers and your Steeler country. When he charged in 1974 in federal court and filed a case against the Raiders and called George Atkinson the criminal element of the National Football League. Okay, and him and Jack had to go to federal court. This is real. Google it. You know what I'm saying?
But they were both very
for that hit on Lynn Swan at the first game of the season that year.
They were very, very involved with the aftermath. After they retired from football, they were still coming back, particularly George Atkinson, with Al in the box on draft day. When we would go to those draft media days and cover the team, George Atkinson was there talking about the different packages you could put together with certain players. But again, nobody else was doing that. The only other one that I thought of was Lorenzo Lynch, because that's Marshawn Lynch's uncle. You know, that's pretty. He was only wearing that number for a year as a Raider.
Right. So. Back in around 2000, 2001, right when the Raiders, the last winning years that they had under Coach Gruden, George Atkinson was a lot more prominent on the radio at the time.
Right.
He was doing a little bit of some occasional pre-game show stuff on Ticket 1050 back then.
Right.
That was the Raiders flagship station back then. And one night I walk into the Ticket 1050, which was the major radio station in San Francisco Bay Area. And I went there for another reason. I had to go meet somebody there and talk to one of the producers there, because we were doing a lot of things behind the scenes in the radio station back then. And George Atkinson was the main host of the evening, sitting in for somebody. I walk into the room and George Atkinson says, "Stonerdude," and he goes, "Hey, can you hang out with me and on the air with me for a little while and just kind of hang out?" And I got to do that, man. I mean, my first time ever meeting him, because he heard of me on the radio. he was just really cool and said, hey, hang out and talk. So I got to hang out live on the radio over 50,000 watts of power over the Bay Area and hang out and talk with George Atkinson and just get to
That's
know
what going viral really is, kids.
And that was just
you had to earn it.
To get to know guys like that under those circumstances. And then, of course, meet them, of course, plenty of times at training camps and things like that.
That's what's going viral. That's why you talk about verified on X or Twitter or Instagram. That's verification in the world.
That just reminds me.
George Atkinson knows who you are.
That was the relationship, though, in general back then. It's indicative of what the Raiders and former players had with the fans.
Right.
There was an acknowledgement, and even a level of mutual respect, where we all accepted each other and we actually got to learn and talk to each other. And to me, that's one of the major disconnects with the Raiders now.
Yes.
With the fans.
Right.
You know, thankfully, and it took the fans out in the stands holding up signs that said "Fire Josh McDaniels." It took the fans to get up and go and get Mark Davis's face, literally, for them to even acknowledge what's going on out there. And thankfully, they responded to it.
Yeah, they needed to respond to it. I mean, you need to listen. And
well, hold on. He fired the problem. He hasn't fixed
the problem.
Okay, so yes, it was a great move. And it goes a long way to throwing my analysis out the window that there was some grand conspiracy, or there is, to patriotize the Las Vegas professional football team.
Yeah, there is.
And make them patriot heavy in their culture and in that image. Well, that's out the way. Now, I don't know if he won't go hire another one of them loser-ass motherfuckers from New England. Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think.
I would standing where I was standing in 2021 before these two clowns got hired, 2022, I'm back to Lincoln Kennedy for general manager. Of the Las Vegas football team. All right. Bring Charles Woods in it.
Get Charles
Woodson. To be some type of player personnel man. I'd like to see Steve Wisniewski around the organization because Steve Wisniewski has a spiritual grounding. He's a man of the cloth, so to speak. And it's not that he'll be running around there, Jesus Christing all over the place.
Wait here, I can handle this.
Yay, look upon me and know me. My children, you should know something. I'm packing. Let's go!
But those young players, some of those young players that come from that,
they
need some mentor like that. Right. But they do come from the South or wherever, and they're steeped in religion. There needs to be somebody there, and we have somebody that's also a Raider. Bill Romanowski needs to be in the building.
Yes.
Okay? He needs to be the friggin' player motivational consultant. Where he goes around and it's not rah, rah, rah. But he just gets to learn the tendency of some of the players, and he gets to be around the players and be that motivator about the game. You know what I'm saying? About the opponent coming up, whatever it may be. But finding that player and tutoring some of them players on knowing how to harness the emotion, but bring the passion to the field.
Right.
And of course, Max Crosby's an expert example of that. I want this team rated.
I have a question.
Rised, okay?
I have a question.
Jim Harbaugh sounds nice and fancy, and he was for a minute, okay? But I personally got some other guys I like to see. Go ahead, son.
Okay, so and I think there's still a little bit.
Cliff Kingsbury, maybe.
Bring
back Jack.
I'll ask the question, but I want to also make point more to the fact of the matter is that aside from the fact that the fans have spoken and we take a lot of pride in the fact that we connected with the Raiders and Mark Davis did hear us.
They confronted
the fact of the matter is that we never felt or we knew that it wasn't going to work in the first place.
Yes.
And if it was going to be all completely scripted, like you said, and all these things being patriotized.
Well, we know football.
But for the bottom line is Josh McDaniels is not a head coach.
No.
He was a horrible head coach.
No.
The one time he had with Denver, thankfully it was with them. But to bring that over here, he can't even talk to
the press,
to the press, to the
can
media.
Explain himself, nothing.
Every other word was
There's nothing there.
Rattled have nothing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Go ahead.
It just went. The fact that he couldn't communicate. He's not a leader. He's not someone who goes out there and gets players to play for him.
No.
Right.
Nobody wanted to come to the Raiders because they wanted to play for Josh McDaniels.
Right.
No matter how many Patriot bullshit manufactured Super Bowl rings that he comes from.
You saw it in Detroit. Guys were, you're all professional athletes, but you're not the same type of professional athletes from when I came up. There is quitting. The fragility of you players.
Right.
You mugs that roll over on your knee after catching a sliding pass. Or, the quarterback that, goes in head first and gets hit and then needs to be taken out for, even your defensive play. You're the defense. And I see a gang of y'all strewn across the field having to go out in between plays and shit like that. It's just, ridiculous, the fragility. All this multi-millions of dollars is paid to you cats. And you mugs are just fragile. You know what I'm saying? And it's sickening to watch. It makes the product weak. You know what I'm saying? And so with that, you've got, just a softness in the coaching. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? From the get-go, to relate to the softer player. You know what I'm saying? And, they're running into the tent in the NFL with all this theatrics because they're worried about being sued and the CTE stuff and all that. So they want to be over, cautious now. But, when it comes to him, we got beat by a kid in Chicago.
Right.
Who had never played before an audience of more than 4,500 people.
Exactly.
Josh McDaniels shouldn't even be coaching in that league. It's Division III. Shepherd's Bay College some fucking where the only thing there is some shepherds and a bay. That's about it. I don't mean German shepherds. Although we could be talking about those dogs too, I say that. No, but come on, man.
Well, yeah, that's something.
I don't want to see him in the XFL. He should never get another job in the NFL. Ever.
He should not, and he should never have. There have to be other people
let him
out
take
there
over the Patriots
that are better at what he was able to produce than he is. He was Lane Kiffin all over again. So yeah, the sign, when you said the signs in the stadium, which I didn't get a chance to see those, I have to go back and see if I can find those. But it reminds me of Rob with Kiffin Must Go. Same type of just not having the football acumen to put together a plan. And nobody likes him. He's not a likable guy. He's not a Raider, at all. He doesn't have that mentality at all. And it was a losing prospect from the beginning. Even your most marginal coach, beautiful black coach Stef, would know that a guy like Devontae Adams, a talent like that, even if you got Stonerdude back there throwing, you're throwing to that guy 15 times a game at least. Right. But not if you're...
He is the focal of your friggin' offense, and the fucking, whatever it was, freezing out of Hunter Renfrow. Are you kidding me? The second best receiver on the team. A great route runner.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And it's like, what the hell's going on there?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
You can't make that work, but you're from this vaunted Patriot tree. That failure, fat-ass Charlie Weiss, goes to Kansas, 6 wins in 3 years.
All of them.
Romeo Cromwell, all of them are that fat
Patricia.
Patriarcha, Pretenda-aka, as I call them. Stop, man.
Mm-hmm. I know.
I only want to had a turn. I don't want to give anybody any idea that the coaching wheel has been Gronk and Teddy Bruschi.
Oh, man, don't give them any ideas, but... it's not going to work because they're not real. The Patriots aren't a real football team. They're acting. They're out there. They're doing.
Done now. I know that.
They sure are. But
Warren
to have
Sapp
their
even said it.
leftovers.
All the players across the league are saying the Patriot. This is what I love. The narrative. Before it was Patriot Way, Patriot Way. Now it's the Patriot Way is dead.
Yeah, it's been dead. They finally realized that. It's like, they're fake.
Somebody should have tried to kill it off 15 years ago.
Right.
We killed it off one night. And that's the end of it, before it even got started.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Their identity is our identity from the 70s and 80s. All right?
That's what it is.
Bottom line.
Right.
Greatest act of identity theft in American history.
And the greatest act of becoming an agent and getting inside the organization.
Many people say. All right. But yeah, stop with the bullshit. Anyway, they got their ass stopped in Detroit, and the change came. McDaniels gone, and you get 2 for 1. 2 birds with 1 stone.
3.
You got Zeigler, The GM, whatchamacallit was gone. What's his face? McDaniels. And who else?
Nick Lombardi.
Who?
The offensive coordinator, Nick Lombardi.
Oh, they fired him too?
Yeah, all three.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
They literally cleaned out. Now, on to, I'll ask my question, then I'll get to my other point a little bit later. So, Raider Rob decided one day, and I will give Raider Rob
Why are we bringing him in?
and Raider Hater Rob all the credit in the world. When you said, I am done, and you decided to hate, be known as the ultimate hater of the team that you love so much. So the question is, now that Josh McDaniels and that the head of the three-headed dragon is gone, and Mark Davis is willing to come in and start new with a new spirit, and I do like Antonio Pierce a lot. I think he's not a
Raider.
But he's bringing something right now that team at least needs to get these guys at least to go play football this week against the other worst team in the league. But back to the question. Are you still Raider Hater Rob?
Yes.
Raider Fan Radio exclusive.
Raider Fan Radio exclusive.
Like I said, the problem, one of them was fired. Okay, the problem was fired. It hasn't been fixed.
So until it gets fixed.
And you still have this lingering odor of Tom Brady and his speed racer pants.
Oh, he's weaseling
hanging around.
He's weaseling in.
Okay, and we don't know
if
that is going to be confirmed or certified. So, no, we're not out of the Patriot water yet. They're still the Patriots in my book. Jimmy G is in the garage, but he wasn't a factor anyway.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You know, he was there guilt by association. And again, McDaniels not being a coach that wanted to deal with new personalities, new players, not like you said, a man of men. He had to get people that he felt comfortable around so he could mask the fact
like a
that he
cozy
didn't know
blanket.
what the fuck he was doing.
Right.
Like a whoopee.
Right, like a whoopee.
Like Patriot whoopee.
So, no. You know, and personally, in a grander scale, I need 25 Max Crosby.
Right.
Max Crosby is the epitome of what y'all call the RAIDERSs.
Right.
Okay?
Oh, yeah, the Raiders.
The intent.
I had to spell it in my
The
head.
determination. The focus. The free-spirited fearlessness.
Right. But he has.
And the understanding of the game.
Right.
The technical play. The smarts in the field, along with the agility.
The accountability.
And the confidence and the accountability.
That's right.
That's what Lyle Alzado was.
Right.
That's what Tooze was. Okay? That's what they were. That's what a John Vella was.
Right.
You know, a Gene Upshaw. But more on the defensive side. You're Greg Townsend. You're Howie Long.
Howie Long.
Okay? You're Dave Rose. Okay? These were the men who manned the Ted Hendricks.
Ted Hendricks.
Ted Hendricks.
He gets a lot of Ted Hendricks references.
Yes.
That is what you want. And if you can find him from Eastern Michigan, then you can find some more who play quarterback. You know who's a quarterback like him? Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
Oh, man.
But that's what I mean. You need that. You need a quarterback,
wide receiver,
been
lineman,
a quarterback.
all of that.
You got to get more tight ends again because you traded away your Pro Bowler. You got to get more receivers again. You have work to do because there's been that hole there all that time. So what was the problem before? What is the ongoing issue over these 20 years of not being able to succeed? You know, and of having coaches that weren't representing, you know, Al Davis and the Raiders. This has got to be healed. But it takes Raider Fan Radio and this crew and those people down with us. The original Black Hole, the original South Shield. That generation that's checked out because you pissed them off so badly, you know, with all of your mandates and then you're losing and these high prices. It's time to draw us back in.
I'm with Uncle Stone, though. I'm with Uncle Stone. These
do?
young people, this new fan base, took a page from our fan base.
Yeah.
We proposed boycotts. The late, great Black Hole Rob kept me from putting on, you know, a friggin' trash bag,
right.
a paper bag. Now, I've seen over the last couple of years and this season, somebody with a bag on that may not have flown in the Oakland Coliseum years ago, but this is the new generation. I don't mind relinquishing. Like George Clinton said when he left in '79 for a minute before time had gone. I knew when to leave. I had no problem stepping aside.
Right.
We got this, and we are the purveyors of this thing, and we know it backwards, forwards, and front. I'm here to share the memories we've create new ones that Stone set off camera a few minutes ago, But the young people, the young nation, that is the spirit of us.
Yeah.
When we stood up, when we booed Jamarcus.
Right.
When we booed Philip.
I booed Kerry Collins, man.
Yeah.
I booed him off the field. Jamarcus.
When we cheered Derek Brooks when he laid Rich Gannon's ass out. Or so we say the stadium was split, but there were a lot of cheers. Many of them led by me.
but that's your point though. Even though it is.
So I applaud these young
Even though
fans.
it's a smaller home crowd. It's a smaller home crowd. There still is that energy. There still is that individualism. There still is that pride, and there still is that. I wouldn't say rebellion but wanting to stand up for what that you truly feel is right.
Yes.
When it comes to approaching your team,
Right.
you can't just go on any aspect of life and just take the bullshit that they keep.
And the fact that they took
it,
the fact that they took it to the front lines of the new medium.
Right.
That is pervasive in society
like
now.
TikTok
and how you get the
Instagram,
message
all
out
that
had a great influence. And that is using it for what it was meant for.
Right.
When it comes to so-called, activism, which this was.
Absolutely.
I saw it too, what Stone was talking about. And I read the story talked about it on the check-in show. The fans were confronting him. The fans were on and are on social media speaking out against what's going on. And they're in their 20s, and they're in their 30s, and they're in their early 40s. They're younger than us. They're the millennial generation of Raider fans.
I mean, this was definitely
So right on to you young people, man.
That was a very newly
young nation,
unprecedented thing that happened. Talking about all that, the new social media that we have that we never had all those years until now, and the way they did utilize it. Now there is a lot of various up and coming podcasts and different radio shows that I actually do watch. By the way, I watch Wi-Fi Willie and some of the other locals that actually talk shit. Well, they don't talk shit. They speak their minds. I think that's the better way to put it. And they were all on the same campaign. We don't like what we see.
Right.
Not only that, but we hate it.
Right.
We hate it with a passion, and we don't want it. We want it to end. And when you even have Charles Woodson on social media, on Twitter, saying, "I can't take this anymore," or to that effect, or "make it stop." That was what.
Oh, okay.
The simple words, "make it stop."
Yeah.
All these guys now expressing how they feel about it. No matter who you are as the owner, you have to listen to the people. Whether you're going to automatically act upon it, that's a different story. But you can't just say you don't hear them.
Right.
They're right there in front of you, man.
Right.
Every time you pick up your phone.
Right. He's out, and he's out and about. He's at the McCarran Airport at the slot machine. He's at your friendly neighborhood.
How much of the slots do you think Mark Davis plays? Like, does he play the dollar slot, the quarter slot, the penny slot?
I don't know. Probably the penny slot.
Nickel and quarter slot.
Right.
He feels rich with $100 in his pocket.
Well, he's got so much fucking money. Is it really about the money?
He's probably playing big to the slots he needs to be playing. And by the way, congratulations to the Las Vegas Aces, the WNBA champions, back-to-back champions here in the city, just great Asia Wilson and Casey Palm and all the ladies out there, who ran it. They showed up and got their second in a row. So this city is sparkling with championships. Of course, VGK 9-0 to start the season of the NHL and defending their Stanley Cup champion. So the Raiders, of course, as we always say, some of that we hope it will sprinkle off for them.
For sure.
But, go ahead. Back to you. I'm sorry. I forgot my thought. I lost my thought.
We should just go forward just in knowing that there is great joy in the fact that we did call it, that, that patriotizing still needs to be healed, and things put back together. But we did ding dong, the witch is dead. Get that dumpy McDummy out of here.
McDonald.
You know? And Zeigler too, since they're such a
tandem. Get a buddy system and shit. Go join the army. Right. You know, you want to be buddies and go on an excursion together.
Are either of you homosexuals?
You mean like flaming, or?
Well, it's a standard question we have to ask.
No, we're not homosexual, but we are willing to learn.
The NFL is not an excursion. The NFL stands for not for long.
Right.
Okay?
This is the NFL, which stands for not for long when you make them calls. I'll be selling groceries.
And you'll be bagging grocery at Smith's, fucking around, okay? And it's good to see Mark Davis put his foot down. But, you know, the problem isn't over. No, I'm still Raider hater Rob. I hate them motherfuckers. And for the first time in my life, it'll pop up here in my ticket. It wasn't a lot, but I went to the casino and I bet against them.
Oh,
damn right.
Are you kidding?
Fuck y'all.
What the hell?
Wait.
Yeah, and this.
Yeah, all right.
Raider Fan Radio exclusive.
Well, you know, it takes a real Raider hater to do that. To do what he did.
They got me.
That's a real Raider hater. You know?
That is a Raider
I commend him. When they hired Josh McDaniels, he completely changed his whole entire life's. You know, people talk about how I identify as these days. He identified as a Raider hater.
Yeah.
From that point on,
I hate this
as
shit.
much as it can be done. So, look, I never went along with the Josh McDaniels. I saw it was inevitable. It was just inevitable. I felt like I was in purgatory.
Yeah, you were.
Raider fan purgatory.
You were.
Because I knew that it was just until the hand of God comes and takes me away, or the devil takes me. I don't know what the hell I was going. All I know is I hated it, and it felt empty and cold and vast.
So where are you now?
And never ending.
Adams didn't get traded. There's a new interim coaching, and, you know, also big ups, I guess, to Champ Kelly is
the general manager.
Interim.
No.
Substitute.
As of today, whether you're substituting or not, you're still doing it.
Yeah, he's
the head coach right now is the head coach, and that's Antonio Pierce. And I accept him right now. I'm telling you right now, I at least heard enough of him and seen enough of him and know what he's done in the past. The guy was an intern on the Howard Stern show. And I remember that back in the old days.
Hold on, folks. This is how far the NFL has fallen. Interns on the Howard Stern show.
He's very versatile. Aside from his football crazy, he's a Super Bowl champion. He beat the Patriots.
He is.
That's as cool as it gets for me.
I used to drive the Burger King around. Could I get a GM job?
Oh, you gonna compare all that to Burger King? No.
I used to drive the Burger King around.
Just because you work at Burger King.
I mean,
but
no, he's a player's guy.
Antonio Pierce is a player.
He's a player's guy.
He's going to bring enough passion and try to drive these guys to play the way he used to play, the way Max Crosby plays. And he's going to let these guys play football. In other words, Devontae Adams knows how to catch a ball. Josh Jacobs knows how to run. He's got
Aiden O'Connell
here.
You know, he's just got to play within himself. Go ahead,
Aiden O'Connell has at least 3 to 4 years to show me that he's an actual NFL quarterback. But to what you just said, he can sling the ball. And he's young, and he wants to. And right now, he's all we got. As far as watching play. That ain't going to change.
Right. And I believe that Antonio Pierce is also sitting in one of those situations in his mind that some people that are understudies, you know, to a head coach or anything, you know, anybody that's the star, the leader of something, is looking at it. And of course, we all think, we even do it as fans, what I would do if I.
Right. He had to be
because
thinking
he's watching all the bullshit
he
going
had
on.
To be thinking
and of course,
we
know there was internal struggles going on. There had to be some internal strife with McDaniels because, again, he's not personable. He's not a likable guy.
He's not like the league. He was rated by the players that didn't like him. Yeah.
You know,
he has that punch face.
Yeah, he has a punch face. He does. And so, you know, I'm anxious to see that. I'm excited to see Have you been sitting on the sidelines these last 8 weeks and have seen this?
What are you going to do different?
What are you going to see?
What are you going to do different? And that's why.
And more importantly, have you seen what we've seen here on
Raider Fan Radio?
Like, share, and subscribe. Yodas, where you at, baby? But anyway, that they go up against the Giants at home.
It's a good situation.
I hope it's not 20,000 Giants fans.
I think the fact that Mark Davis fired Josh McDaniels the way he did is going to inspire a lot of fans to come out this weekend, because the excitement that we're talking about, even you, Raider Hater Rob, expressed some excitement or interest or intrigue. The rest of the fans who do want to go see the Raiders play and want them to win are going to be extremely intrigued, and that's what's going to bring the energy in the room. So you got the Giants, and by the time the Giants will be, that game will be way gone by the time most of the people even see this.
No, this is a problem. We're trying to get this
up
Sunday.
But the point being is that new, energized energy, the relief of not having Josh McDaniels anymore, the fact that we're not all focused on saying fire the coach, and it's not about how angry and aggressive we are, but how relieved and ready we are for something new.
It's a cleansing.
Right.
It's a cleansing.
Yes.
It's a cleansing.
It was like my prayers are answered, my life is changed suddenly.
I slept like a baby with my thumb in my...
So happy.
Against my pillow.
Can't even...
With my pillow.
I was getting texts from people, man, and I have to admit, I
was
smiled.
smiling in my sleep.
Yeah, I smiled, man.
I slept so relaxed.
I got it from you first, and you just said fired with the fire emojis, and I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? I'm thinking that, but I didn't see
it's the ultimate.
I didn't see anything official, but I was like, okay, and I was getting ready to lay it down anyway. But haircut did something good, man. He did something good.
Got more to do.
He trimmed
a lot of work to do.
Extra hair that we had on the organization that was growing wild. He cut it out.
That was a thorn in the foot of the lion. It was nagging, and it was painful, and it brought everybody down to their knees, no matter how strong or resilient you are, because you knew how it had to end. It is now the fact that Mark Davis said on Halloween, there'll always be a famous day now.
Yeah.
You talked about Lane Kiffin just a little earlier with your Kiffin's Gotta Go. We were both in the room when Al Davis had the famous, which we talk about all the time, or the infamous overhead projector
press conference.
And we were literally dead center, staring Al in the face, like as close as we are to you right now, and he spoke directly to us.
Because he wanted us there. He was like, get them to...
And Al Davis on that day said, I messed up. I fucked up.
Right.
I hired the wrong coach.
Thank you.
And he proceeded to show you how with us
with the overhead projector. When he had to fire Lance Kiffin.
Right. Get Lance out of here.
But
get over it.
The fact that Mark Davis had his moment now of that. He's got a lot of moments to go.
Who do you want? They're talking about Harbaugh.
I could do Harbaugh.
You could do Jim Harbaugh. I could do Jack. Bring Jack back.
Del Rio?
Jack Del Rio.
Another shot. I could do that.
I wanted him the first time. For years. Who do you want?
What? Chucky.
I have got a feeling that is to be continued. Don't ask me why. Maybe because I didn't expect it the first time. I'm really not going to expect it the second time.
You know what? Maybe
now
later.
That it got brought out in the open and everyone understands what the agenda was, the complicity of the NFL, and the fact that he wasn't an NFL coach at the time, which shouldn't smear his NFL coaching opportunities. Okay, as a person, morality, really. We're doing morality in 2023.
Right.
It's
not about morality.
Okay.
It's about, when you mentioned Chucky.
Still got Americans on the street that ain't eating tonight, that aren't going to have a place to sleep.
When you
got motherfuckers running around with $500 million yachts.
When you
worried about some, little racist comments that, so what?
When you mentioned.
DeMaurice Smith did have big lips.
Is it a lie?
Fuck about it. He wasn't lying.
when you
Why can't the white man
He's
say
not a
that?
liar.
You got eyes?
Coach Gruden is no
Call it
liar.
like it was.
Okay, whatever, and that's great. You know, I wasn't even tripping off of that. I'm tripping off of the quality of football. Me and Chucky battled back the first time he was here. You know, he wanted to do that West Coast bullshit, and he was the first one to introduce a different style of football on a Raider team. He was with Al Davis somewhat, but then, you know, he did some of it, but he didn't do all of it. He was focused on the running game, and he would do shit like run the ball on, like, you know, 2 or 1.
It took 4 years his second stint, but I have to say this. Number one, I've always been a Gruden fan, so I'm always going to have a place in my spirit for at least accepting it. But,
yeah, we made it.
But what to me at least was redeeming, afar from all those things you just said, that particular year was the first year in his tenure where they were actually starting to look good at the beginning of the year, or at least like a team that he was putting together. It was starting to come together. And they opened up and they did beat the Ravens on Monday night. And that set the tone. And once those emails were talked about, and they did a hit job on him to get him out of football, all in one fell swoop on Monday Night Football.
Yes.
Racist, homophobic,
misogynist,
misogyny, all those things, and they did that to him. That's when the thing, obviously they lost those last 2 games because everything was starting to fall apart in-house because of that.
Right.
But the point being, but even aside from that point, is that Rich Bisaccia did take that team and get into the playoffs.
Yes.
And all those things put together
go get him.
Makes me feel like you pulled the rug out from him way too soon. I'm just not sure that the rest of the Raider Nation or even Mark Davis at this juncture in time wants to automatically go that thought process when there's so many other things
Well,
to
I've been
consider.
seeing headlines over the last couple of days that mirror what we have said for years, that there needs to be a recapturing of the old mystique and the old culture and attitude, of what was once the Oakland Raiders, and push your brand. We were talking before the show about Schwarzenegger and his brand and how he's doing, podcasts and all that, and how him just being in a fucking thumbnail on a podcast shrinks YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We should get Arnold on our show.
With a brand that is bigger than all your little multimedia shows you can put together.
I know,
that's how big of a media man he was. And that's how big of the brand of this team has been and was and still is. Because
and the brand you created, Raider Nation.
Thank you, but and that's the fans. We all built that, and it's being carried on now, and so it's one of the great brands, in American history, and the only way it's going to be great again, is to be what it was.
Right.
You don't replace Tony the Tiger with Tony the Turtle. Okay?
Man.
It's Tony the Tiger. He's the brand. Mm-hmm. And the brand is Max Crosby football.
Right.
In the 21st century.
Sacks it.
He is the brand. Las Vegas, Max Crosby's. Make it go viral. Love you, Max. Sacks.
I've been on the Jim Harbaugh discussion with everybody now for a long time. I like Jim Harbaugh. He was, first of all, his first ever coaching job was given to him by Al Davis to be the quarterbacks coach for the Raiders.
Right.
I hear a butt in there.
No, there's no. Well, you could say you could butt all you want for sure. I would love to hear your butt in the whole conversation.
Okay, so it's not. I'm not hearing a butt.
Okay, and
there you go.
I'll replace my butt with an and.
Okay.
And he went on to have a very successful college coaching career at Stanford, grooming one of the better quarterbacks in the past 15, 20 years to come out of college. Of course, he was a natural talent in Andrew Luck. But then he went to the 49ers. They hired him.
Right.
And he turned that Dennis Erickson-led franchise that was bad for so many years. Even Mike Singletary couldn't kick the ass of the 49ers. And he went out there and he even benched Alex Smith, who was actually doing pretty good at the time, to put in who he thought his guy was at the time, Colin Kaepernick, who had more of the dynamic type of style of playing. And he went to a Super Bowl with it, you know. And so I'm just saying, and he's obviously having some success at Michigan with all their controversy, of course.
Yeah,
but he's still in it.
Yes, he is.
He is a coach.
Right.
He's the kind of guy who has proven to me he can do something.
Right.
Whether he can or not with Raiders, that will remain to be seen. I'm just saying, as far as candidates go, I understand why he'd be a name that's definitely mentioned all the time as the bar of what we have to choose from.
Right. Giants by 6 on Sunday. Daniel Jones is going to have one of
Giants are going to beat the Raiders.
Daniel Jones is going to have one of the best games of his career.
That's some hater shit right there.
Saquon Barkley is going to have over 155 yards rushing. Okay, that's what's going to happen. And Antonio Pierce going up against his old team and all that bullshit. Fuck that. Them motherfuckers are still garbage. I wish the kid well, the Derek Carr stunt dummy. What's up, Tavio? Okay, the Derek Carr stunt double. I wish him well.
Number 4.
I hope Josh has a good game. Sachs is going to dominate, I'm sure. And that's going to be a great matchup to watch. Sachs shred blocks and get in contain and chase down Barkley.
I think Daniel Jones throws at least one interception. At least one.
Yeah.
I think the Raiders win by 4. At least by 4. It's going to be a low-scoring game. Again, this is going to be on and gone by the time you ever see any of this. And we can be called out on it afterwards. But this is it.
You're right.
He's underestimating you, Silver Black. You said you would probably be able to get it up to, by Sunday. Particularly if we hurried up and got this under an hour. So let's speed it up. Art Powell, one of the great Raiders of all time, from back in the 60s, paired with Warren Wells, along with Darryl LaMonica, one of our great all-time receivers. He is a candidate for the 2024 Hall of Fame. Okay, so finally, some more Raiders getting some consideration. You don't know who Art Powell is? Google it. Okay? And look him up on YouTube here, okay? Teo Johnson.
Teo!
That's your boy.
Yeah, one of Black Hole Stef's
It was a secret little, what would you call it? A crush? Did you say she had it?
The beautiful Black Hole.
I have a thing for tight ends.
So do I.
In general. And he beat that case. They had to settle out of court.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
No, they settled out of court, so he was being sexually harassed. And it's time
because he's so beautiful.
And he does a lot with the Raiders Foundation here. So, yeah.
But I'm thinking that case should be out more. Because despite Me Too and despite the favoritism we, give women, particularly in cases of sexual assault, sexual harassment, or what have you, that yes, it is, gentlemanly, but also more times than not right to believe the woman. And her contention that something inappropriate may have happened. Something criminal may have happened. But it gets flipped on the other side, too. They did a movie called Disclosure years ago about it. Look that up and watch it. Right. Okay, so this is not new,
now we just
to society. Right. And I think that, a lot of men end up, after the fact, it's on page 7, that they were acquitted. Or they were found to be not guilty of accusations. Of sexual, misconduct or something like that. Or themselves were the victims outright.
Right.
Men
can be sexually assaulted.
I've been sexually harassed.
Me too, many times. Mostly by consent, but hey. Were you in the back of a Buick?
Right on tail.
But yeah, right on tail.
I didn't even give it in a time.
This story needs more light. Anyway, where else are we? Okay, one of our viewers, Ryan Hendrion, I think he's over in Sweden somewhere. He said a couple of shows back that he loves Old Testament Raider fans. He wants t-shirts. And I'm thinking,
Old Testament Raider fans.
Yeah.
And you're going to get those.
We're going to cut you in, pal.
Right here at Raider Fan Radio. That's something that we are going to be offering soon if we can ever get our website together. But you'll be able to get your Raider Fan Radio.
That doesn't sound very confident at all.
It's a lot going on.
If
You wouldn't
we
believe
can
it.
You wouldn't believe it.
You would not believe it.
Dude, you wouldn't believe it.
But
yeah, that was his idea. We're on hindering. So just wanted to let you know, I saw your idea in the comments a couple shows back, and we're working on that.
And make sure you let it be known that was created
what the
right
fuck
here
is
on
with y'all
RaiderFan Radio.
As much as I love what the nation is out there doing, there's some of y'all, a lot of y'all, that are misguided. This past weekend and the week before the home game, what the fuck is a R Royal?
A what?
You know the name of the team. What is it? What is that? Royal.
Raider
What
Royal.
is that?
What's Raiders Royal?
Well, these are some fans that were at the game 2 weeks ago, dressed up like the little puppet on that used to be on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood with the little crown and all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Is that a new character that's out there?
They are now.
What?
They are now. Up in the stands.
In Detroit.
Dressed up like King Vitamin around this motherfucker. Google his ass too. Or Hulu him. Or whatever the fuck you kids do. Alright, to find out shit. Okay?
I Google.
And then, in Detroit, I know you all saw him.
I didn't see him.
He was terrible.
I'm sure you're going to get him.
The Rhino.
I'm sure you're going to get him on. Oh, yeah, that. Yeah. What's up with the Rhino? The Raider Rhino?
Pirates! The team is named after pirates! Okay, pirates! Criminals of the sea!
They've got Raider Power Rangers and all kinds of.
That's the kids.
They got, you know what? See, here's the thing. Gorilla
What are we doing out here?
Gorilla really came out of the gate swinging and basically owned it when it came to taking the classic gorilla suit. You can't go wrong with that, right? It's been around since the beginning.
But he
of time.
did it with an originality.
But he made it a real
originality.
But my point being is that
Put a new spin on it.
they're all copiers. They're just looking for an animal. There's
yeah,
Raider Possum. There's Raider Possum. I'm just saying. There's name a fucking Raider Platypus.
Yeah, Raider Wolf.
Yeah, there's a wolf.
Pirates.
Yeah, that.
Pirates. Blackbeard. Okay, Blackbeard. Okay, Jean-Louis Lafayette. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Hispaniola. Okay,
Right.
Johnny fucking Depp.
But we got a rhino now.
I mean, like, what are we doing?
You get a picture of the rhino.
Yes, it's gonna pop up.
gotta get a picture
A
of the
number of
rhino.
things. I mean, the whole NFL though, the fan bases now.
That's
These
real.
fans
Yeah,
they're milking it.
on different
I always do this, they're
variations.
milking it, you know what I mean?
Are all takeoffs from different variations of the Raider fans.
Right.
You know, these new big chains with the logo and all that. We were the first ones to do it. I've got one that even predates that when it's made out of like beads. We were the first ones to do the big rope chain from the 1980s hip hop scene and put the damn emblem on it.
Right.
You know, Raider G had one. The homeboy, the young brother that used to drive had the souped up 5.0, had the glasses. I forget what he called himself. He was like not East Bay Raider. I think he was East Oakland Raider or something, but his real name was Alex. He had the 5.0. Okay, he used to come to the hole when you used to still park up to the hole. I got a picture of him. Hopefully I'll find it and I'll give it to be able to get it to Silver and she can pop it up here.
Yeah.
But that's all variations of the Raider Nation.
Right.
Anything with pads, that's all us.
It's all us.
You know, anyway.
Okay,
all right, so Taylor
they identify as rhinos now.
I don't know. What? Is it binary?
I don't know.
Is it binary?
They're non-binary.
Can you be a trans rhino?
You can do that now, too.
If there's a rhino, there should be it doesn't matter what it is.
Right. It's
just a fucking rhino, man.
Why don't one of y'all masquerade as a coach? Okay.
Right.
Can we get that?
They're going to get it right.
We need it.
I have a good feeling about the future.
Bring back John Gruden to me.
To be continued at Raider Fan Radio.
Yes.
The animals are wild, folks.
Speaking of animals.
Yes.
Nice segue.
They are wild. And I wanted to pose this to my friends here as we get ready to roll up out of here. We have a feature here where I go and do a feature on how crazy animals have gotten.
You're obsessed.
Okay, I love it because I called it a couple years ago, told y'all before the summer of 2021, the animals, there were scientists, people that know animals, communicate with them, a lot of rich Dr. Doolittles, okay, who were predicting that animals were getting ready to turn their fervor. okay,
on the human race,
the human race,
because of the state of the world that we're in,
and how
correct?
we've been upsetting their natural environs, intruding on them.
There's a disturbance in the forest,
and it has been going down. Okay, I don't have a lot of stories today, but what I wanted to do was pose to you guys. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do have a good one. You have got to see the bear that went in these people's houses, and went in their freezer. They had a drawer freezer.
You knew it was in the freezer.
In the refrigerator. Yeah. He climbed through the window. Okay, looked around.
Yeah.
With the bear. And then he went over. He opened up the refrigerator and looked at it. And then he closed it. Didn't like what he smelled.
Didn't like what he saw in the fridge.
He pulled the drawer.
Oh, he expanded his possibilities.
Grabbed a bag of frozen lasagna, they said.
Lasagna. Was he an Italian bear?
He's an Italian bear.
His last name's probably Garropolo Bear. And then he jumped out of the window. Before he did that,
he didn't cook it up in the.
He looked no.
He put in the microwave, put on 2 minutes.
That would have.
He's not. He wasn't Guy Fieri
with his fucking foot tapping.
Yeah, he wasn't Guy Fieri bear. This was a black bear.
Yeah.
If that makes any difference.
Okay, you didn't fry it.
Well, my thing is black bear. He's a black bear. He didn't steal the hamburger helper that might have been.
Fuck the lasagna. I want some hamburger helper.
Got some watermelon. Anyway, so he climbed out the window and he climbed the Klan drinks watermelon. You gonna tell me all those guys with those hot ass sheets on down there burning crosses don't drink watermelon? I mean,
I love watermelon. I'm doing anybody says.
They're where watermelon's
my favorite.
from. They're down south.
Picnics, barbecues.
Anyway. I don't know. I never understood how that became a thing.
Well, the point being is that now this bear
opened up the drawer, got the friggin' frozen lasagna, and scooted out the place.
But before he left, I thought you.
He looked both ways. It's the funniest thing ever. It'll pop up.
Are we gonna get this on the screen?
Yeah, it'll pop up on the screen.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to pose a question to you and the audience. Hit us at Raider Fan Radio. Like, share, and subscribe. Your comments, we'll read them next show. Is I wanted to ask this to y'all. Okay, we make fun of the animals, and the stuff that they're doing, but you know, like something like what he's doing, and you see it with bears breaking into cars.
They're doing all kinds of taking purses,
right? You got monkeys that steal purses with people that visit places like.
Oh yeah, the monkey will take your shit, walk away, and say "fuck you."
I want to ask you this. All right, I want to pose this to you guys: wild animals, should we also be considering them criminals?
Yes.
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 I say good luck. No.
Charged as so, and we should have little court systems with other animals.
Animal court systems.
Yeah.
Prosecuted.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of them. How are you going to arrest them? Let's look at those some of the crimes that I was thinking of. You know, and I was like,
you were thinking of crimes?
Yes. And as a former pickpocket myself, no, I'm just playing. There's no statute of limitation on murder and pickpocketing. I just want all of you former pickpockets.
You made sure you read that before you came on the air today?
Still knowing my record got quiet, you see. I pickpocketed him once for a nice hefty
I don't know anything.
Anyway,
keep going.
So I'm going to pose this. Let's look at some of the crimes that some of these animals, in just a couple of groups here. Bears, I think, could be considered especially criminals, okay? Black bears, of course, would top that list, because they're always trespassing. That's a crime. Misdemeanor. Theft. They can be charged with theft.
Yes.
Okay. Breaking and entering.
They're good at it.
Okay.
Because I'm smarter than the average bear. Yeah.
Car break-ins.
Yes.
Okay. Very good at car break-ins.
Yeah. They get in the car.
Loitering. They're always hanging around. Vandalism. I didn't think
vandalism.
You know, and I know there's intent because, as Yogi Bear used to say, "What the ranger don't know won't hurt him." They know what they're doing.
Thief too. He wanted to get that picnic basket.
All right. Now, what's the question?
No, I'm just throwing these out there. Okay, birds. I'm just saying what we can get them. My question was, should they be considered criminals? You know, and I was giving some examples here of some crimes. Birds are definitely, you know, randomly pet people. You know what I'm saying? So that's assault.
What do you mean by randomly pet people?
Pet.
Peck. Oh, they peck people.
I don't think it's
birds will
random.
fly down and peck you. And
Oh,
shit
they'll
like
come
that.
take your dog, man.
Exactly.
A hawk will come down and take your cat, your dog, whatever.
So that's assault. And then you got them stealing people's food. So that's petty theft that they could be charged with. Okay. And all of them are all three. Oh, excuse me. Okay. So then we got sharks. Murder. Sharks are murderers.
Yeah, but they're hungry.
In 2003, sharks were snipping swimmers and beachgoers at an alarming rate. They said that it was an all-time high for the study of sharks attacking people in 2023.
Oh, well.
Had a 27% drop over a 30-year period of time.
Wow.
Increase in shark attacks on shore. Okay? And then finally... Well, speaking with animals, I just want to say a get well to local Metro K-9 officer.
Raider?
Yes. Get well. Okay, he got stabbed. They were chasing some guy off of Tropicana a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
And the dog, they sent the dog.
Well, then
to go
if
get
we're
the
going
guy,
to praise
and
the good...
he bit him and all
If
that.
you're going to praise
And
the
guy
good ones...
stabbed, put out a knife and stabbed
the dog?
Raider.
The
Yeah.
Raider dog?
If you're going to praise the good ones, you got to convict the bad ones. But I'll end this whole animal segment with this. This is my movie review for 2023.
Uh-oh.
The best movie of 2023 out in the theaters is Cocaine Bear. By and far, my favorite
Cocaine
movie.
Bear.
So back to your whole bear discussion, your bear stories. Cocaine Bear is a must-see. Takes you back to a real story that happened in 1985, which is around when we graduated from school and things like that. So it takes you back there, and the bear is definitely the star of the movie. Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear, okay.
All right.
We'll have to check that out, man.
Yes.
We want to say rest in paradise to the lady who was the inspiration for Marvel Comics' seminal and, beloved character, female character too, Elektra. Okay?
Yes.
Lisa Leone, who was a champion woman's bodybuilder. She passed away at the age of 70 in San Fernando of stomach cancer about 2 weeks ago when you folks see this. But she was, because Marvel, and the whole comic book universe, but, Marvel was definitely, Stan Lee was one of the pioneers, really pushing forward female identity in the superhero and empowering, truly empowering
original
women.
Characters.
Right.
Where DC only had
Original,
Wonder
right.
Woman and pretty much still does.
Right.
As far as popular, strong characters, Marvel took that and ran with it and created many over the years.
Right, and Elektra was one of the great ones, and I think she may have appeared in some of these more recent X-Men movies, but I remember in the 70s, in the 80s, they had talked about doing one with Tanya Roberts, because they also wanted to do Red Sonja with Tanya Roberts, and then I forgot the other redhead chick.
They did do it with Brigitte Nielsen, but it wasn't a good movie.
Yeah, they put the wig on her, right.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, Brigitte Wilson. So, I don't know, maybe they'll do it again, hopefully do it right.
A modern day Red Sonja would be awesome.
Yeah, but hopefully they'll do Elektra, because she was a very popular character in the comic book strip and in the universe of Marvel, So anyway, rest in paradise to Lisa Leone, who was the inspiration. The story goes, Stan Lee saw her at a wrestling, at a bodybuilding tournament that he was at, and
the rest
thought
is
about
history.
Elektra. The rest is history. Thought she was a perfect example.
And then rest in peace to Suzanne Summers.
Yes.
Which is shocking.
Chrissy
I can't
Snow.
believe she's gone. She was the epitome of health with her, we thought.
The Thigh Master.
Pussy Tightener.
Creator.
Right, all of that. She had been working out in the 70s and 80s.
Right.
And, Alan Hamill, her husband, they used to own this grocery chain called Alpha Beta, where you could get organic stuff way back then.
I remember Alpha Beta,
So it's really, really sad to see her go so early.
She'd been diagnosed with breast cancer a few years ago and all that, but she was always strong and I could figure the health, and also a great actress, was a pinup doll of the 70s and 80s,
Who didn't want to do Chrissy?
Right.
Great legs.
Thank you.
How do you get them?
I used to do aerobics till I dropped. Then I found Thigh Master. Every single time you squeeze Thigh Master, you strengthen and tone right where you need it. So it's easy to squeeze your way to shapely hips and thighs.
I thought I'd never fit into these jeans again. Thank you, Thigh Master.
Right. Anyway, yeah, God bless her.
I'm surprised I have not heard out of the gate the loss of Richard Roundtree.
Oh man.
Yeah, you know, that happened.
That
Shaft
too. A lot.
Yes, Shaft. You know, Shaft. Richard Roundtree, one of the first real black action stars.
Another
black American
sexy
action
black actor. You know, like Fred Williamson.
More to the point, the fact that when there was a time where they wouldn't make movies with any, whether it was black or Mexican, or you usually had to have somebody play a Hispanic person or a Native American person, or even back in the Al Jolson days, a black guy.
Look at how you
How you doing there?
So for years and years, you wouldn't see that. So finally, yes, in the 70s was a very revolutionary time. And not only did it bring in the obvious as far as skin color and racial various ethnicities.
Yes.
The fact of the matter is that they did it very well. It was entertaining. It was fun.
Great.
It was action.
Yeah, it was great.
And Richard Roundtree, you know, of course, went on to play a number of Earthquake. You know, he plays the motorcycle daredevil in the movie Earthquake. We talked about that some months ago. But yeah, him and, you know, if you get a chance, Vlad TV right now just recently ran a great interview series with Fred Williamson.
Yes.
You know, and the great
I
Fred
saw
Williamson.
that was, you know, I'm going to see that.
You know, check him out too if you want to look at old 70 stars. But anyway, yeah, that's what up. You know, that's what be up in here. Oh, here got my ticket right here. Yeah, when I bet against the Raiders, I did bring it to the set.
Yeah.
You still gambling?
Yeah, of course I'm still gambling. I'm still gambling.
If you want to take a gamble, you could go.
Still hanging out at Pancake Houses?
Absolutely. The original Pancake House. They got the blueberry, they got the chocolate chip. And you have the opportunity to get the Stonerdude coloring book.
The coloring book.
Right. Make sure you get your Stonerdude coloring book with 24 pages of awesome art. As you can see,
something to do while you're watching the football team.
Myself. And that's 24 pages of Stonerdude art that you can go get. Holidays are coming up, boys and girls. You can get them from your parents. The parents get them for your kids. Just make sure you go to StonerDudeArt.com for your Stonerdude coloring book at Raider Fan Radio. Yes. Is that it today? Are we done?
Yeah, man. Good luck with y'all's football team.
My football team.
I'm
a Raider fan. In the famous words of Raider Man, I am a Raider fan! I'm expecting new, better things here for the rest of the season. At least give me something to look at, man. I just want to have fun.
How much I want to sell that Italian car you got there in the garage for there, buddy?
Happy, joy.
He's in the warehouse. He's not even in the garage. He's in the impound yard.
The cover's over
no more McDummy.
We will see you next time at show number 44, hopefully with a lot of new things to talk about, better things to talk about than the firing of Coach
Miami over Kansas City.
McDummy.
Miami over Kansas City. Philly over Dallas. Those are the big games this weekend.
Raider.
And the Jets to beat whoever. Buffalo to beat Cincinnati. The views and opinions of RaiderFanRadio.Vegas, RaiderFanRadio.com, and Raider Fan Radio Media are not the views and opinions of the Las Vegas Raiders, Al Davis Football, Inc., or the National Football League. RaiderFanRadio.Vegas is an independent media source.